welcome back to the channel, y'all. Chris, the Camping Texan here. Where in the world is the GeoPro? This weekend we're set up at Lake Somerville State Park, Nels Creek Unit. This is campsite number 31. Well, we got in late last night, probably around 10. It's super dark out here, but got a good night's rest last night. Feel good this morning. Guess I better go get checked in before we get in trouble, but we're not at Kegel this weekend, y'all. I'll explain more. Y'all stick around. Well, y'all, a while ago in the truck, I mentioned I might get in trouble if I don't get my window permit right away. For those of you that are new to camping in Texas state parks, I don't want to scare you. I just want you to know the rules, and I'm going to give you a way to deal with that. So the rules are that if you come in late to a state park, typically the headquarters will close around 5. They require you to come in the next morning by opening business hours and get your windshield permit. And a lot of times the park rangers or even the game wardens, they'll drive around in their trucks and they will write down on a yellow slip of paper that you need to go do that. And they'll put that on your windshield, under your windshield wiper. So I don't agree with the yellow paper. It looks like you've done something wrong when really you haven't done anything wrong. So I just want you to be aware of that. One way around that, y'all, is to get up early. Leave your campsite around 7:15 before they start making their rounds, and then head up to headquarters, and you won't get that yellow slip of paper. So if getting that on your car bothers you, then that's a way around it. I know I've been to some parks, Bastrop State Park. I'm going to call you guys out right now. You know, they're very aggressive when it comes to writing those yellow slips of paper, but you've done nothing wrong. It just means you have to go get your windshield sticker. So I just want to let you guys know that I'm not in trouble, and you won't be either. Just know how to handle the windshield sticker and then the park rangers. Well, good afternoon, y'all. It's great to have y'all at the campsite. Good to see you. Glad you can make it out this weekend. Y'all, I'm going to be honest with you. 2 days ago, I had no idea that I was going to be here at the Nels Creek Unit at Lake Somerville State Park. Don't get me wrong, I love this park. It's a great park, and I highly encourage you to watch my Lake Somerville State Park videos, Birch Creek and Nels Creek. But I had a reservation for the Kegel Recreation Area in the Sam Houston National Forest. What happened? Well, I got an email from recreation.gov, and my reservation was canceled because apparently Southeast Texas, the Houston area, has received so much rainfall that they've had to close down quite a few campgrounds. So I'm a little bummed about that, especially I had made a reservation in advance for Mother's Day weekend, and that getting canceled 2 days away, it really stung. But we've been able to make the best of a not so good situation. That's right, y'all. My Kegel reservation got canceled. Now we will make that reservation again, and we'll head out that way. It's a great park. It's off of Interstate 45 in New Waverly, Texas. I'm really bummed because I've waited a long time to get out there, and I was finally going, and then all of a sudden 2 days before the reservation, canceled. So that's what I want to talk to you guys about today, is make sure that you have a go-to park. As you're traveling around the state of Texas, try to keep a list of parks in your toolbox that you know that you can always go to. If something happens, like this is Mother's Day weekend, and I'm not going without camping. I'm sorry. So I had to scramble, and I was able to find a reservation here at Nels Creek. And I know that Nels Creek is it's a lot less populated than Birch Creek. So I was able to quickly hop on and get another reservation right away. So you guys need to keep that in mind as you're camping in our state, our great state of Texas, that if something happens, what are some parks close to the park that you want to go to that's going to keep you camping, right? That's the goal, is to get outside and camp. And so make sure that you're aware of those parks and that you can have a good time and not be stuck without a reservation. Well, y'all, it'd be my pleasure to show you around the campsite this weekend. I'm staying in campsite number 31 at Lake Somerville State Park, Nels Creek Unit. This is in the Equestrian camping area. The entrance to this campsite is just to the left of the dump station. Y'all, I really love this campsite. I'm going to be honest with you. I did find a couple of flaws with it. I'm going to share with you. But if you're staying on a short-term basis, it's not that big of a problem. This is our first time staying in an equestrian campsite in Texas State Parks. So this is pretty cool. But I'm going to go ahead and get the negative out of the way. I like to do that. So the driveway, y'all, it looks like they've been repaved, which is great. The asphalt looks brand new, but it's got a really bad slope, y'all. It slopes off pretty bad toward the front, and then it slopes off really bad on the left side. So you may have to play with your setup to get it just right, but we're not too far off. We've got a little bit of a slope inside of the camper, but it's not that terrible. Now this site is 20-30 and water, so 30 amp electric and water. No issues with the services. Everything hooked up quite nice. As you guys can see, the boxes look fairly new here. Everything's working the way it should. And to speak of the water, y'all, I was able to Amazon came through for me, and they sent that water filter housing and filter. I was able to get into the pass-through, got that connected, and we're back up and running with our water. So glad to have that. But this campsite, y'all, it gives me Goose Island State Park vibes. I love being surrounded by all the trees and the bushes, and it has a homey feel to it. This campsite even has a small trail back here, which is really cool. If you have kids, they're gonna love coming back here, playing around. It's very hidden. You could even pop a tent back here if you wanted to, but it's really neat. A lot of birds back here. All day long you can hear birds. Another negative is that the picnic table doesn't have a shade shelter. I would love to see this campsite with a nice shade shelter. So I set up my own. We're planning on doing burgers later, so wanted to have a nice cool place to sit when we're not sitting underneath the camper awning. But wooden picnic table, y'all, on a concrete pad. Could use a little bit of pressure washing, but it's still good to go. In-ground grill and firing. Would love to see this campsite with a standing grill. That'd be great. But I want to mention this one is straight. A lot of these in-ground grills are all bent up. This one is pretty straight. So looking forward to doing those burgers later on this particular grill. Has a really nice yard. This campsite does 31. Your dogs are gonna love walking around back here. Kids throwing a ball. You're just gonna feel great. You're nestled in nature, and that is so cool. You guys can see your water hookup here. Everything's nice and new. No issues with any of that. And then, of course, your horses. If you have a couple of horses you want to bring out here, there's a horse pen. And what's cool is it has 2 stalls and it has chains. So you can lock them up. So that is really, really cool. So I'll quickly mention out here, mosquitoes are pretty bad at night. Other than that, we've encountered some ants, some flies, a yellow jacket every once in a while, but really it's just the mosquitoes at night that have been bothersome as far as insects go. And I've covered this park before, so if you want to hop on and check out my other Nels Creek video, I'll talk about services as far as getting ice and propane and stuff like that. I mentioned in that video that you really need to get what you need to get before you get out here. It's kind of out in the middle of the boondocks, so make sure you have plenty of fuel and try to bring everything that you can. There's a Dollar General in Burton, Texas, which is probably about 15-20 minutes from here. So just be prepared when you come out here. Make sure that you bring all the necessary supplies that you need. For campsite 31, I did not put up the cell booster. AT&T, all the major carriers, you guys are gonna not have any issues making phone calls, surfing the internet, things like that. So no need for that. And then if you're using satellite like we are, You've got a nice opening here where you can lock on to satellite and watch TV. So I enjoy the site. Other than the pad site being a little unlevel, it's a good site. Well, y'all, I cannot believe this campsite. To get it on a whim like this, it has a nice little trail next to it. All I hear is birds. It's nice and cool back here. I can't beat this. So this is awesome. Talk about turning a somewhat sour situation into a really good camping weekend. Really thrilled with 31 here at Nels Creek. Another campsite that I just really think y'all are gonna enjoy, and I may get this one the next time I come here, is 30, y'all. This caught my eye when we first got here. There was a truck camper set up in this site. I really think that you're gonna love this long asphalt driveway. This pad is a lot more level than 31. You're not gonna have any trouble leveling out your rig here. 20-30 amp electric and water, y'all. No sewer. You'll have to go to the dump station. In-ground grill and fire ring. You've got a wooden picnic table, concrete pad. Bring your own shade shelter. Really, that's the only negative I can find about this campsite. There's plenty of mature trees here. It's going to give you a lot of shade. If you've got a long rig, you might want to watch out for these overhang, the limbs here. But you can get a nice size Class A, fifth wheel. You will have some neighbors over here, but that's okay. You've got a place to hitch up your horses. There's some pens to keep them in, water, yard space here for your dogs, for your kids, what have you. This is just an overall great campsite. I really like it a lot. And then if you look through the trees, y'all, you can see Lake Somerville. So in my opinion, it doesn't get any better than 30. It's a Class A site, y'all. You know, people make all kind of excuses as to why they can't go camping. Don't have the equipment, don't have the time, don't know how to do it. Y'all, site 32, I'm gonna target my tent campers here, okay? Although this site is good for a rig. You've got 20-30 electric water, but I saw this mother, y'all. She had a small SUV. She had 3 small children. She was out here camping by herself with kids. They had a nice sized family tent set up right here behind this tree, right here next to the horse pens. They had a fire going the whole time we were here. This pit was going, y'all. They had the picnic table full of all kind of goodies. I mean, nice long pad site, y'all. But all they had was a car, and that's all they needed. They were having the time of their life. The kids had their bicycles. I'm giving a thumbs up to this young mother. She really gave those children an experience that they'll never forget. And that's what camping is all about, y'all. It's about bringing your kids out here. It doesn't matter how expensive RV you have or what size tent you have. It's about getting out here, enjoying your state parks, and having fun and passing on memories of a lifetime. So I challenge you, if you haven't gone camping, y'all, get out here, get you a site. 32 was occupied by a young woman with a tent, y'all. And if she can do it with 3 small kids, so can you. Get out here and get camping. Y'all, the last site I'm gonna show you is right next to ours. And y'all look, there's a little bunny rabbit back there this morning. How cool is that? This park is so full of rabbits. They're a lot of fun to watch. But 33, I like a lot. And the reason why I like it is that it's got this extra vehicle parking right here. So if you've got a rig, let's say you have a Class A and you've got a toad behind you, this is a great place to put it right here. I like it. Now the pad itself, it kind of gets a thumbs down from me because it's got a slope, a pretty bad slope here at the front. So you'll need to play with your setup a little bit, but it's not going to be impossible. You get your horse pen here, 2 stalls, in-ground grill and fire ring, y'all. Electricity, 20-30. Electric and water, wooden picnic table, concrete pad. And you got a lot of woods behind you, which is really cool. And it's just very private, feels very private. Overall, I like the privacy of the site that we're in. 31 seems more private than this one. But if all the sites were gone and all you had was 33, this would still be a good site, y'all. A couple of features that you'll absolutely enjoy here in the Bent Tree Equestrian camping loop is this excess parking here. This is really nice for your car, for your truck. And then also there is a pebblestone path, y'all, that leads over to the restrooms, cuts through the woods. So that's a really nice hike if you need to go take care of your business. Y'all hungry? Let's get this pit fired up so we can make some homemade burgers. Well, y'all, the burgers are done It looks so good. Look at that. I've got one with American cheese, one with provolone, wavy lays. Let's dig into these and see how they taste, y'all. That's campsite food right there, y'all. Hey, listen, I appreciate y'all coming out to the campsite this weekend. I wish all the mothers a happy Mother's Day. Well, y'all, I had an amazing trip back to Nels Creek here at Lake Somerville State Park. Lake Somerville State Park, Birch Creek, and Nels Creek will always forever be one of my favorite parks in the state of Texas. I love coming here. It's one of my go-to parks. But y'all, it's time for me to hit the trail. In a couple of weeks, I'm heading up to Lake Colorado City State Park. Come and join me for that one. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a great time. But listen, if you enjoyed the content of this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hit that notification bell so you'll be notified when our videos post on Saturdays at 6 p.m. Also, make sure that you subscribe. Get on board so you can see all the cool adventures that we're on. All my current subscribers, guys, you rock so much. I appreciate your support. And my future subscribers, guys, what are you waiting for? Come and join us. Listen, if you got a comment, make sure you drop it down in comments and we will answer that. Remember, I'll see you at the campsite.